AVNation.tv. This is Stephen Bronner. I'm here today at CEDIA 2018 with Ben Kutell from QMotion, and we're going to talk about QMotion shading and what they offer and what they have at the show this year. So Ben, lead off. What do we have this year?
All right, great, thanks. So QMotion, we've been doing this since 2011 with extremely efficient and very quiet roller shades. At this point, we were the first people with a really large battery shade going as large as 12 feet by 12 feet on our roller shades, with batteries or without batteries, and extremely efficient as far as our way of using the energy in order to drive the shades. That efficiency gives us the long-lasting battery life, the ability on our wired shades to really pull very low power, so it's really comfortable as far as a load on the energy draw. And on the batteries, they last really long, and so we'll go ahead and give this one a shot and let it run.
Okay.
So we do this by using the motor differently. Instead of just driving the shade with a really high-powered motor, we're counterbalancing the shade. So the counterbalancing in the shade applies garage door technology, because that was the foundation of QMotion. We came out of the garage door business. So inside the roller shade, there's a motor and there's spring assemblies, and we combine them all into a special configuration that's unique to that shade, allowing it to run really smoothly and quickly and quietly.
I notice it's moving very quick. This is a lot of your motorized shades move much slower than this.
Sure.
And also, it's really quiet.
Yeah.
And that's very important when we're doing our integrations and we're dealing with clients. The last thing you want to hear is a train coming through your living room as you let your shades up and down.
Yeah.
So I notice it's very quiet. It's very quick. So yeah. This also is a really beautiful keypad that you have here controlling this.
Yeah.
So it looks like the aesthetics are great. Is there anything else about the shade that's particularly special to QMotion?
Sure. Well, in this case, we're showing a dual shade, which is two shades in this space, which is a pretty common configuration because oftentimes somebody might want light filtering in addition to blackout.
Yes.
And they want to be able to make the choice. Do I want to room darken, or do I want to just have some privacy, maybe some comfort level of aesthetic? Right. We're showing the control of it with the Vantage controls in this space. We do work with a lot of other systems as well.
Oh wow! So are you guys? Would you be agnostic? So you could work with any control system that's available.
Every major control system out there, except for a few of them, we do work really well. Most of our radio technology is off of Zigbee. Most of our shades are on a Zigbee platform. Okay. So there is some level of universal capabilities on there. And on our wired product, we're using a very low power running over Cat5 cabling, and that shade motor also, the one that gets its power and communication over the Cat5 cable, that's also a Zigbee motor, so we can communicate with that one as well.
Very nice. Well, the use of standards like Zigbee, Z-Wave, standard 2.4 gig Wi-Fi. These things are important because they give you this interoperability where other companies can come in and I can say, you know what, I love your QMotion shades, but maybe I want a different keypad.
Yeah.
And so being agnostic and being able to work with different brands is really important in our industry. I'm an integrator, and I see this all the time where companies come in and they say, hey, we have this beautiful, amazing product. Use our stuff to control it. Yeah. And you want to look at them and go, no, 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 that's not how this works.
Yeah.
So being agnostic is really great for our industry. This is a really attractive, I know you can have lots of different fabrics. Is your fabric selection limited, or is it pretty wide?
So we currently stock about 240 different colors of fabric. It's kind of low. We'll be adding and dropping as we go through. But we want to make sure to have the popular offerings, the ones that fit with people's decor. So we have a very wide collection of blackouts, of decorative materials, and a large range of screens, in anything from a 1% all the way up to a 10%, and a lot of different colors inside that range. So people are sure to find inside there what they want. And we also do printed shades.
Well, I can tell you that in the shading business, we usually sell 4 colors.
Yep.
White, white, and gray.
Yep.
So you sound like you have the bases covered. You know, and it's always nice to have that selection for that customer that wants a custom shade. This is a very custom print here. It's not something you see a lot. So this would be really nice in a room if it mattered more to you than a white shade. Yep. And I love this. This is great. A little extra color never hurt anybody.
No, absolutely.
So this is great. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Well, so some of the other things that we're introducing here at the show, we have our new Qbasic Plus shades. which are a shade that comes out as a manual, counterbalanced, upgradable shade. So if in those cases where somebody may have a lot of windows in their home, but they're only willing to motorize a few of them up front, they can put a coordinating or matching shade on the manual side that they can later come back and with a very simple, quick process, upgrade that shade to the same motorized system, and then they can integrate it into the system, and it's just a seamless process.
Very nice. So no changing rollers or fabrics. You just,
right.
It sounds like maybe you just slide a motor in and go. So
almost that
maybe
easy.
Not quite that easy.
Pretty close.
Work on that one.
Absolutely, we'll get there.
So that's actually really neat.
Yeah.
So you could put shades all over the house, and then the customer can upgrade the system, which is really great because oftentimes these things get put on the back burner as we get countertops and fancy toilets and faucets in the house. And the client will come back and say, well, maybe I can't do all the windows. How about some of them? We don't have to change the specification. We just pull out the automated part, and then 6 months, a year, when they're ready, they're kind of over that first hit, they can come back, put the motors in, we're good to go.
Yeah, and they don't have to make any sacrifices on either the fashion or the function of either the manual or the motorized product. They both will work great. And in fact, the brackets for that Qbasic Plus system, they're adjustable in the way that they give you the leveling of the shade in the bracket. Instead of having to shim the shade, you can simply use a little screw on the bracket to raise or lower that side. So it gives a little benefit to the installer that they don't have to spend time taping the tube in case they have an issue of an unleveled shade.
Well, that's way too simple. You're gonna have to make it a little more complicated. Don't you know everything has to be complicated?
And that's actually a good segue to our other product that we're showing big here,
great.
which is our Teleshade with QIS product. Now the Teleshade with QIS takes our full shade package from shade and fascia, builds it all together into a cassette system with the motor already inside. Everything's ready to install. All you have to do is install your two brackets. Sounds similar to the other shades right now, but you take those two brackets and you snap in the Teleshade with the QIS motor inside, and you're literally just popping that thing up into the brackets that are up there, and you don't have to separately install the fascia. Much faster to get right the first time.
Okay. Once again, we're running into a problem here.
Yeah.
Because it absolutely should be more difficult. I have been told this has to be really hard.
Yeah, I try to work on taking out complication, and so that might be what I'm getting wrong.
It's a really good business model, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, it's been outstanding talking to you. This looks like a phenomenal product. I'm looking forward to learning more about it. If you would like to know more about QMotion, please go to their website. And to see more videos on the CEDIA Expo 2018, please go to AVNation.tv. Thank you. Have a great day.